Okay, this video is how I would start getting some mobility in the knees and start to develop strength in the knees for anyone who's got knee issues in any form. So to start off with, I would be moving into the Sissy Squat, and the first part of the Sissy Squat is to do it with an upper assist. So from here, stand right up against a bar or anything that you can support your body with. It might be rings, whatever it might be, and then just going down using as much of your hands as necessary to help you get down and back up again. And you're ideally trying to get as low as you can, even if that's only just to here. But pay attention to where my torso is and how I'm hinging here at the hips. So I'm straight up. I'm not trying to push my hips forward just yet. At the moment, I'm keeping my hips underneath my shoulders. So my torso is completely vertical. Then from there, you can start to move into more of a sissy squat where you're leaning forward and pushing your hips forward. From that, I'll then go into over here where you're going down to a really shallow box. It might be a chair, box, whatever, table. And from there, we're going down and trying to, again, go straight down with the hips. So we're hinging at the hips so that my hips are underneath my shoulders to touching the box, and then back up again. So it's just up and down, very small movement. If you need to, you can put some parallel bars there and you're just going down with some assistance to that point. From there, I'll then start to push the hips forward. So it's always hips hinging to begin with and then pushing the hips forward as a progression from that. And ultimately, we're trying to get down to a point where hips hinging to begin, down to here, use the bars or chairs beside you, whatever it might be to help you get up and down, and then pushing the hips forward in that position to get that. You may need to start off with some warming up. So if that's the case, you can go down with the bars for assistance, sit in this position, and then we're just rocking forward and back through the hips, aiming to get the knees down onto the ground. If that's too much, roll a towel up, put it in between the legs, and then you're not going down as low. Or we come down to a height that you can maintain, and then we're just rocking back and forwards, getting that movement through the knees. But ideally getting as low as we can and then pushing the knees forward and back. And you can do this single-legged as well if you need to, where we're just rocking back and forward, getting that knee down to the ground. What I would be aiming to do this whole time is to get some real good strength in. And so with a bar, I'd go to a slant. So I'm going to use my drain here, so that my heels are elevated higher than my toes. And then from there, you're going down as low as you can, aiming to get your bottom down onto your heels and then back up again. If you can't get that low, you're just going down to a box. Whatever that height is, touch that box with your bottom so that gives you a reference point to get to the same point every time, and then continue to work through that, always going within pain. So using pain as a bit of a guide and making sure that if there is pain, you don't go that low. So go to just before the pain starts. Now, one other exercise that I really like is duck walks. So ideally getting down so that your bottom is right down onto your heel and then rolling forward onto that heel as quickly as you can. So as quickly as getting my bottom down onto my heel and then swing forward to the other leg. If you can't get that low, which you may not be initially, you just go as low as you can, keeping everything moving forward. So we're just going forward. So you notice before my legs were going out sideways. Now at the progression, we're just walking forward, aiming to get lower and lower and lower, always within pain, till you get to that point where you can now open your hips up because you're getting all the way down. From that, you can keep your hands on your hips to make it a little bit harder, hands out in front, harder again, hands behind your head. And that is going to create incredible mobility in your knees, great strength in and around your knees, particularly your quads, and in particular the VMO muscle, which is the teardrop muscle in the quad, and mobility in the hips and the ankles.